Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat, and today I'm going to talk about something a little different. So, as many of you know, if you're in America right now, the Black Lives Matter movement is engaged in protesting, and for good reason. Black lives absolutely do matter, and this is a video response to Francina Simone's "This video is sponsored by oppression," which basically, to sum up her video, was about non-people of color, especially white people, not showing their support on the platforms that they inhabit. And as Booktube is my only platform that I inhabit, I will be making a video about this issue. So this video is to help if you perhaps don't know why this issue is important. And I am very clearly white. I'm not a black person or a person of color. So down below, I have left links to many voices, articles, resources, places to donate your money or spend your time with that are black voices. So my voice is not the important one in this discussion. Black voices are of the utmost importance, but this is my platform, and I do need to make sure that everyone who watches my video, who might see this video, knows that making sure that Black Lives Matter is of the utmost importance to me. So I have my notes to the right so that I don't miss anything. So if you see me looking over there, that is what I am talking about. So the first point that I want to make here is that you need to listen to the Black point of view. So obviously this is for mostly probably white people that I'm talking to right now. I think maybe a lot of white people might tend to just read whatever they like or whatever is available to them, and they're not realizing that they're not consuming a broader array of like pulp culture. So down below I have left links to Black point of view videos from the Booktube community. What it's like to be black on Booktube, what it's like to be black just like in the world in general by Booktubers, response videos to the racial bias in the Booktube community and in the publishing industry. And so if that is anything that you are looking to get more informed about, please do click one or any or all of the links down below. I have really tried to highlight all black voices. So if you're looking for that information, that is there. Right below that information is TED Talks. So I have included all of the TED Talks I could find about racism in America and racial injustice and basically the Black Lives Matter movement and why it is so crucial and important. If you haven't seen those videos and you're looking for discussions and talks from people who are the top people in their field, so you have scientists, you have authors, you have people who have lived through just horrible experiences, and to hear it in their own point of view from their firsthand lived experience is really powerful. So I think if you are like me and you are in a privileged position, you are white, you are female, you're from middle to upper class, whatever it is that gives you privilege, please make sure to educate yourself from sources that are through the black lens, through the black point of view. So again, all of those links are down below. They are absolutely free, so there is no need to say that you just didn't have the resources or you don't know where to find them. I am leaving down below Booktube links, AuthorTube links, YouTube links, and also TED Talk free speech links. So this is all free. Please do educate yourself. If you are wondering why the Black Lives Matter movement is important, because it's undeniable that it is, it's not a question. So if you're looking for kind of the reasons why and to understand the situation maybe in a more holistic way, definitely check those out down below. So just to bring it back around to Booktube, I really want to highlight black Booktubers that I love and I watch a lot very often, and they really do help highlight bias that I have that maybe I didn't realize I had. I'm just going to mention 5 very quickly, but down below there are playlists full of Black Booktubers to check out. So there are probably tens, if not hundreds, of other voices to check out. These are just my personal faves, usually because they have similar reading taste to me, or like I said, they talk about social issues integrated with books so that they help highlight areas that I didn't know I needed to work on. So first up is Jessie from Bow Ties and Books. They are absolutely amazing, and they often read books by people of color, specifically Black authors, but also queer books, and that is an intersection that I am really keen to always read more from. Also Noria from Noria Reads. She is absolutely hilarious. I love her sense of humor. And recently I've been watching her a lot because she's hosting the Fuckathon in July. So the Fuckathon is all about highlighting areas where we want to say fuck to different things, like the patriarchy, like religious extremism, like white supremacy. So she has an awesome channel. Definitely, if you want to check her out, I recommend it. Then Francina from Francina Simone. I've mentioned her. She is the reason I decided to finally make this video, and she just is absolutely, I think, like a fundamental key person that I really highly regard and listen to, because sometimes the eloquent rage that comes from a person's own lived experience, you can never understand unless you listen to them. I'm not Black, so I can only better understand by consuming more media and more content put out by Black creators. Another person to check out is Jordan from Left on Red. I absolutely love her channel. She is actually a bit of a more highbrow reader than I am, so a lot of the stuff she reads is really dense nonfiction and historical, which are my two weak points. So she's like kind of the person that I want to strive to read like, if that makes sense. So I go to her for recommendations, and I will go through her like best of the month videos to try and see if any of them pique my interest, because she just reads so like really in-depth and like very complicated books, and I think like if she really highly recommends it, then it might be one that I could get into. And the last one I want to mention is Jasmine from Jasmine Shea Townsend. Now she's actually part of AuthorTube. So she actually wrote a book called Fairy Tales and Space Dreams, and I don't know if Booktube is sleeping on this, but I've mentioned it multiple times and I have just ordered it, so hopefully it can come. I don't know when it's coming, but this is basically like an intergalactic retelling of fairy tales through a Black lens. So I know that this has a Black retelling of Cinderella, and I'm Snow White, I believe, and I'm just really here for it. She also has a pastel Lolita style, which is just awesome. So if any of those are interesting to you, go ahead and check those channels out. Like I said, tens if not hundreds more Black voices on Booktube are down below. So please do check them out, and I recommend subscribing to anyone who has similar reading taste to you, because then you might find books that you didn't already know about that are from Black authors or feature voices that are different from your own. Okay, so the second point I want to make after listening to the Black point of view is to support your Black-owned businesses and Black authors. So in this way, there are lists, tons and tons of lists of places that you can buy books from Black-owned businesses, and I have linked them down below. There are ones that go state by state, and the problem for me, however, is that I cannot get a lot of them shipped to Australia. In fact, I didn't manage to find any that ship to Australia. If you happen to know any that do, that would be great, but if you cannot support Black-owned businesses by buying Black-authored books directly, then buy the Black authored books anyway from another retailer. So I have listed a few down below that do ship worldwide. My personal favorite is AbeBooks. I think that they are the cheapest for shipping to Australia for me personally. It depends on where you are in the world, but it's really important that you put your money where your mouth is, and that you lend support, especially during these times. We should be buying books for, you know, all sorts of things, all sorts of inclusion, but especially during this time, your money is going to help support businesses and communities and just lives that are struggling at this point in time and that really need your help, and like you should just uplift them and support them in any way you can. Okay, so the third point that I want to make is to read books by Black authors or featuring Black main characters. So for this, I have down below listed so many Black booktuber recommendations of Black authors. So my voice in this matter is secondary. The primary voices you should really be listening to and really taking on board their suggestions are Black voices. So I have so many links down below. Definitely check them out. They are right there. Just click them, listen to them, read all the books. But that being said, I have read many, many amazing books by Black authors or about Black people, and I am going to be talking about that right now. So these are my own book recommendations, but like I said, please, please, please listen also to Black voices sharing their own favorites, because their experiences are, more relevant, and they will know better if a book represents their community than I can ever know that. So without further ado, I'm just going to throw up a whole bunch of books for you to check out, and I'm not going to bother explaining them, otherwise this list will be so long. So, okay, we're just going to get into my top books by Black authors that I have read relatively recently in the last year or so. Rabbit, an autobiography of Mrs. Pat by Patricia Williams. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. This is the only book on this list, I believe, that is written by a non-Black person. So this is actually researching Henrietta Lacks's life, who was Black, but the person who wrote the book is white. I just wanted to mention it. I do know she's white, but this book was just so phenomenal, I feel like it would be remiss not to mention it. The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. Ruby by Cynthia Bond. Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, which is currently my favorite book of the year. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. The Mothers by Britt Bennett. Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. Friday Black by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. This is really great for people who like Black Mirror short stories. The Prey of Gods by Nikki Drayden. Rebel, a Romance by Beverly Jenkins. A Girl Like Her by Talia Hibbert. The Wicker King by Kay Ankrum. And lastly, My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. So these are all the books that I have read recently that I really wanted to recommend to you guys. There are so many more books published by Black authors. Like, this is by no means a definitive list at all. Most of these deal with dark topics, or have queer elements, or they're space or fantasy, or there's something that specifically appeals to me. But if you have really different reading tastes to me, then please, please, please click the recommendations down below by Black booktubers. Just check out all the different books. This is not a definitive list by any means. However, that being said, I'm going to continue on with some 2020 releases that just came out this year by Black authors that I really, really want to get to. Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi. Lakewood by Megan Giddings. All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. Felix Ever After by Kaysen M. Callender. A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This one has sirens. A Song of Wraths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. The last book section that I kind of want to talk about is my backlist TBR, and I'm just going to run through them for you guys as well. This is to get as many people who have similar reading taste to me so that you can know about as many books by Black authors as possible. I'm just going to again flash them up and say their names and move on. Slay by Brittany Morris. Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Salvage the Bones by Jesmyn Ward. Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. Escaping Exodus by Nikki Drayden. Fairy Tales and Space Dreams by the aforementioned Jasmine Shea Townsend. The AI Who Loved Me by Alyssa Cole, but I do believe that this is only on audiobook, so I don't think you can buy a physical or ebook. The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. The Weight of the Stars by Kay Ankrum. This is one of my most highly anticipated 5-star predictions. Eloquent Rage by Brittany Cooper, who is also one of the TED talkers, speech givers. So she is an author about racial issues and injustices, and she has also done one of the TED Talks. Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Rennie Edo-Lodge. Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. I'm really looking forward to this one because she wrote my favorite of the year so far. Destroyer No. 1, the graphic illustration by Victor Laval. This is a Frankenstein retelling and it looks just beautiful. An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. A Taste of Honey by Kai Ashante Wilson. Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. Who Fears Death by Nnedi Okorafor, and Brown Girl in the Ring by Nalo Hopkinson. So as I said, these are just ones that I'm really highly anticipating, some of which I've ordered recently to support Black authors. I don't know when they'll be coming, so that's why I didn't wait to hold off on telling you guys about them, because I just want to get this out there so that if you have at all a similar book taste to me, these are books to check out. Down below, I have also left more video links to books, to videos that I have filmed in the past for Black History Month and my wrap-ups of those months, which feature exclusively Black authors and Black main character novels. The last point that I want to make in this video is that there are additional ways to support the Black Lives Matter movement. I have left a ton of links down below to different groups and organizations and nonprofits that are helping to bail protesters out of jail, are helping to provide medicine, are helping to supply lawyers and pay for court fees, and are helping to support communities most impacted by the protests and any sort of violence, and also to help encourage police and violence reform. So if you have any money to spare or you want to help the movement that way, all the links are down below. So I hope that this video has helped to not only give you a place to look for resources, but also if you are a non-person of color who clicked on this because I am white and I'm talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, I hope that you can redirect yourself away from this video and click on Black voices that actually do matter more than my own in this space. So please, please, please click any of the links down below that I have provided. All of them will take you to people that are living through this experience and are negotiating this trauma. And the last thing that I want to say before I go is that if you are confused about this issue, you do not need to ask your Black friend to explain it to you. Google exists. All of these links down below exist. You can click them. They're free. You can educate yourself for free. Asking someone to relive trauma that they may have had, or daily microaggressions, or just, the trauma of being a minority, especially a Black person in America or in the world, is just really inappropriate and unnecessary. And it's actually just really, I think, you might be coming from a good place, but try to think of it from their point of view. That's the whole message of this video. Look through the Black lens as much as you can. So if you're here because I'm white and I'm talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, please click any of the links down below and you will get people who are more qualified to talk about it than I am. I hope that this video comes across that I absolutely support this movement so very much, and I'm really just grieving for the situation in America right now, and I just wish everyone a safe day. And if you're going out to the protest and you're going outside and you're being part of this movement, I hope that nothing happens to you and that change does actually occur. So with that, I'm going to say bye for now.